right. Already got a like on there. Thank you. About ready to get this thing started here in a couple minutes. Getting some last second invites in. We appreciate anybody that shares this content, likes this content. If you're popping on, good morning. Good morning to y'all. Share this content to all of the football fans in your life. To all the Lion fans that are out there, if you can hear me, which game are you going to watch this week now that the Lions are on a bye? What game interests you the most? See, I'm a division guy. Let's get this thing going. All right, it's NFC North Talk with Russell Wayne, football talk. All right, here we go. What's going on, everybody? What's going on, Brent? Fred's in the house. Paul's in the house. Jordan's in the house. JJ's in the house. All right. This is such a sweet interception. Look at that. Oh, thank you. Boom, boom, boom. Yeah, welcome one, welcome all, ladies and gentlemen. It is football talk. Football talk with your host, Russell Wayne, right here. And we are broadcasting live into the Detroit Lions news. Thank you guys for letting us do this. We are broadcasting live into Mike the Bear fans. Good morning, Chicago fans in the house. We're broadcasting live into our YouTube channel. And right there's our QR code right there. If you're If you want to go to the YouTube channel, watch the YouTube, use that, takes you right there. And we're also broadcasting live into the Detroit Lions Villain Squad. We are approaching 9,000 villains in the Villain Squad right here, and we appreciate everybody that supports this channel right here as we talk football every single day at 11 a.m. right here on this network. Good morning to you all. Good morning to all the people that I mentioned before, and I'm going to jump right into these comments here as Mike is making his way to the show. It says, good morning, y'all. Good morning, Russ. Good morning, Mike. Is JB coming on to the show? I don't know if he's coming on the show. We'll have to see. I don't know if I'm going to have enough time to get to the gallery today because I have to get my son off the bus. So we're probably going to be cutting this at about a 50-minute show today. Good morning to Fred right there. Put what team you represent into the comments, right? I assume that most of us are Lions fans on here. We do have a couple of great Bear fans like Mike the Bear fan and Bear Down Mike. Both of the guys named Mike on there. Ken Doby comes in here, good Bear fans, a couple of good Packer fans, but most of those guys are in witness protection because their teams are trash. So, yes, it is. Good morning to Paul. Good morning. Good morning, Brent. Good morning. One Pride from Jordan. Sarah's on here. Sarah is our lone Viking fan that has made it through all of the witness protection. And honestly, if anything, I mean, these Minnesota Vikings are the ones that have won the games. Besides, I mean, they're the only other team that might be able to sneak out and do something this year, right? Is Josh Dobbs the answer? Good morning, Sarah. That's that question I'll pose to you. I know that you're a little underwhelmed with that signing, but you never know. You never know. I personally think that Kirk Cousins is pretty good. I think that he's been a good quarterback, and he's been a good quarterback for a while and been consistent. So I think that you are going to miss him, but I could be wrong. I was wrong about you guys losing all your division games. But we'll have to see how that shakes out right there. Good morning, Sarah. See, Sarah's got fans in here. That's why she needs to go ahead and start her Vi Queen podcast, and we will definitely support her if she does that. That's awesome. JJ. Let's see what else. Probably the Vikings game. So I did ask that question. I'm glad that you were listening. I was wondering if anybody could hear me from behind the scenes sometimes when I'm getting ready for the show. But the Vikings game. So that's a question I'll throw out to you. What game, as a Lions fan, are you most interested in this bye week? I mean, the Lions can move around in a bunch of spots here. We got a couple 6-2 teams playing each other this week. So as far as the Lions fighting for that number one seed, I think the Lions can get the number one seed, guys. I don't think that they may not be the best team in the NFC, but their schedule looks nice from here until the end of the season. I mean, Dallas is the only big, like, oh my gosh, what are we going to do about Dallas? That will be a good game. But the other games that we should win, they're games we should win. And if we do lose more than one game before the end of the season, it's going to be to a team that we should beat. So, what game are you watching this week on the Lions bye while they sit back, get healthy? They are 6-2 on a beat up team. So, taking care of my buddy Connor to a Penn State University game. That's awesome. That's awesome. Go out there and see them games. It's a good time. Good times. Vikings and the Falcons is going to be a great game, and the only team capable of knocking the Lions down a peg. Still don't think they will take the North, but they are our greatest competition. That's good take. That's good take, Fred. Thank you for the comment right there. And I like that game because we have a victory over the Falcons, and it looks like the Falcons might actually be a decent team. they can figure out and stabilize that quarterback situation. They got running game for days. And they might come out of there. They might come out of there as like a 7 seed and make the playoffs. That's a pretty good Falcons team. And the Vikings, I mean, if they can go to 5-4 and they can win a couple of these games with Dobbs, I mean, that's a good testament, man. My hat's off to you. Viking fan, I mean, I was hard on you guys all summer long, and they're turning out to be okay. They might be okay, but it might fall apart for you too. The Falcons might just run you right the F over. So that's what I say about that game right there. But that is a great game. Green Bay versus LA is being broadcast here, so I'll watch it. Dallas and Philly could be a good watch later. And that alludes to the comment I made earlier, Jordan, and thank you for that comment. Like, Dallas. Good morning, Main Event Mike. How are you doing, brother?
Good. You going to send me the link?
I thought I did.
You didn't send me the link?
Yes, I did. Go check it. Use the last one that's on there.
Okay.
All right. Or maybe I didn't. Oh, gosh. Maybe I didn't send it to him. Sorry, Mike. I thought he was going to come in on the audio today. It actually sounded pretty good, didn't it? Did you guys hear Mike? Did you guys hear Mike on there? Sorry, Mike, if you can hear me. You were right. I was wrong. He asked me if I was going to send him a link, and I actually didn't send him the link. I thought I did, but I didn't send it to him. I'm wrong. You were right. I don't like the Seahawks, Mike. So I would support Sarah. She knows what she's talking about. That's what Brent says. Can they beat Dallas or Philly though? Who knows? They're not playing Dallas until a little bit later. There he is. See, that's Mike. I'm wrong. You were right. I'm stupid. You're smart. You are very good looking. I am unattractive.
Well, now that we got that straight.
Oh, man. We were talking about these, what game that as a Lions fan you wanted to watch this week since we're on a bye week. And I like a lot of these games they're bringing up. Obviously, the division matchups, the Vikings versus the Falcons looks like a pretty good matchup. Dallas or Philly. And I think that we can win the number 1 seed, and I think we're going to get the number 1 seed because our schedule's so easy. And Michael brings up this and says that can they beat Dallas or Philly though? And I say it doesn't matter because Dallas has to play Philly, and we get to play a bunch of chumps. So we may not be the best team, but we still may get the number 1 seed. How about that? So I don't really root for Dallas all that much, Mike.
I hate Dallas.
I hate Dallas, but I'm going to root for them against Philly because Dallas seems to have Philly's number, and we need Philly to lose games if we want the number 1 seed because we don't play Philly.
And in regards to Michael's question there, let's face it, if the Detroit Lions defense plays the way they did against Atlanta, the way they did against Tampa Bay, the way they did in the home opener, they'll beat anyone, okay? Say it loud, say it proud. If that defense plays like that, they'll beat anyone. Just like last week when the Baltimore Ravens stomped the Lions. If Lamar Jackson plays like that, he'll beat anyone. They say any given Sunday, right? But I'll tell you what, being at home, the confines of Ford Field is very advantageous for the Lions. And if that defense comes out hot like that, they will beat anyone. This team is for real. The Lions are for real. I think they can beat Philly and they can beat San Fran. Will they? Hell, right now we can't even beat Seattle. But is anyone worried about Seattle coming to Ford Field and beating us? I'm not.
No, and the thing is, it's that any given Sunday thing. And here's another thing: is can they beat Dallas or Philly? Absolutely, they can beat any team in the NFL, and they're built to beat any team in the NFL. And what a lot of people are not taking into consideration, and and shame on a lot of the local media for trying to be so smart and being so much smarter than this regime that's doing stuff that no one has ever done in this city. So for you to come out there, whoever is out there, and if you say this, you know who you are. Oh, Brad Holmes didn't do anything at the trade deadline. Therefore, all of these other teams are now better, and they're all better than us, and we can't beat them now. So now we've been knocked down a couple pegs. They should have done that. Now Brad Holmes has a big question mark on him. No, you have a big question mark on you. You have a big question mark. This team has never done anything, and here they're sitting at 6-2 on an injury-riddled team. They're bringing in baggers, and Dan Skipper's playing guard, and we have a rookie running back that's running for 152 yards behind a beat-up offensive line. We're going on the bye. And you're telling me that all of these teams are obviously better than us? San Francisco, they're never going to beat San Francisco. 3 teams beat San Francisco, which is one more team than has beaten us. So it's about time you put some respect on this Detroit Lions team's name. And if you don't, you're just a hater. You're just a hater. And you're trying to get clicks because I'm going to be controversial. Enjoy the win. Man, you won going into a bye week. You know what that means? That means we get to go wave our ding-ding out there, metaphorically speaking, running naked through the streets for 2 weeks. We get to do that, and you get to do that as a fan too. You get to do that all the way up until your next win. Stop poo-pooing stuff on win weeks. Eagles and Cowboys will be the other game that I watch. Yeah, that's huge. What a huge NFC game that is, Michael.
Yes, it is. You want to start there with our predictions?
Ooh, let's go through. Are we ready to jump
well,
right
in? It's
I mean,
Prediction Friday, man. It's your show. You want to go into it now, or you want to wait? Because I really like what we did last week, Russ. You and I did not align on every game. But we did about the same percentage-wise. I checked it. You got all of the games right, but about 3. I got all of the games right, but about 3. So that's pretty good, man. That's an incredible prognostication there to be able to pick that many games correctly. And that's with point spreads, my friend. So this week is going to be interesting. A lot of interesting mashups this week. Only 2 home underdogs this week. You know I love the home dog. Only 2 games are a home underdog this week, and that is Indianapolis at Carolina getting 2.5. Carolina coming off their first win, and now they're a home underdog for 2.5 against the Colts. And then the other home underdog is the New York Jets against the Chargers on Monday Night Football. The Jets are getting 3.5 points. Those are the only home dogs, and those are sketchy games for me, so I probably wouldn't touch either of those with my money.
Yeah, but we still got to pick them for what they are right here. And I'm looking at, I don't know what are you referencing? Because I'm at.
I always reference DraftKings.
Okay, that's exactly where I'm at. I'm at DraftKings right here. When I click this little icon right here, the one that's on the top of the list is the Miami Dolphins getting 2 points playing the Kansas City Chiefs.
Yeah, who you like?
Oh gosh, in this one, oh gosh, like I've been saying that I want, and I've been thinking that Patrick Mahomes is going to get himself right, and it just seems like they've won 6 games, but it just seems like it's just not the same. The same Kansas City Chiefs team. You're wanting this offense to explode. I have Travis Kelce and Patrick Mahomes in my fantasy league, and I'm just like, man, when are they going to become the Chiefs? And if the Miami Dolphins are getting 2 points with that high-powered offense, it's hard for me not to take the Dolphins into points on that. So that's what I'm going to go with.
Wow, that's a toughie.
It
I
sure
think this
is.
is going to be a close game. You get Jalen Ramsey coming back. Kansas City is thin at receiver. The receivers are not great. Yeah, they got Travis Kelce. I like Miami in this game. Kansas City, 2 points isn't enough for me to take Miami. However, I'm going to take Kansas City at home, giving up 2. So
I love it.
right off the bat, we don't agree. I would never touch this game with money,
I
though.
hate you, Mike. I hate you because I know that there's this chance. It's like here we get into this game where Miami's trying to prove that they're somebody, and it's just that perfect game for Mahomes to come in and be like whoop, 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 5 touchdown passes and just mess them up, kind of like the Buffalo Bills did. But I'll stay to my Miami keeping it there. I think they can win that game. And I really feel like the Chiefs are struggling. But anyway, let's get into this next game right here. Do you want to hit any of these props on here? I don't know. I clicked this little icon.
I'll give you a couple of props that I picked out at the end.
Oh, okay. And that's just with all the games.
Yeah, I just went through all the games and picked out a couple of props that I like.
Okay, good. Okay, so second game here, we got the Seattle Seahawks going to the Baltimore Ravens, getting 6 points.
Yeah.
So you go ahead and go first on that one, and I'm going to think about it.
Too many. I don't think Lamar Jackson is going to repeat what he did in Detroit, and he struggled a bit in Arizona. I think Seattle's tough. I think Baltimore wins the game in a close one, so I'll take Seattle in the full 6 points.
Wow. Okay. So this one's a tough one for me because the number of points, and I'm aligned with you. I'm like, this Seattle team is a lot better than what people think it is. Like they look at it from the outside, and for some reason they see Geno Smith from the New York Jets, and they act like this guy isn't a viable quarterback or just on the same level as Lamar Jackson. Yeah, and that's just too many points right there. I'll agree with you on that one. Give me Seattle in the points.
Right on. Next game is Chicago at New Orleans. This is a big point spread. Tyson Bagent will start for Chicago. It's Chicago getting 8.5 in New Orleans. Who you like?
I like Chicago to cover this. I'll take Chicago in the points on this as a no-brainer.
I'm going to take the Saints, and I'll tell you why. Because they're playing in New Orleans. Derek Carr. This is a team. They're in a hungry playoff race to win the division down there in the NFC South. And it is a tight race, and this is a game they can win, and they need to make a statement and come out and win this game by double digits. I'll take New Orleans minus 8.5.
I love it. I love that pick, and it's hard for me not to bite my tongue when you make a pick to like try to argue with you, and I'm not gonna do that because we're gonna move on to the Arizona Cardinals getting 8 points in Cleveland. With no quarterback. Or is it Kyler Murray coming back?
No. Clayton Tune, the rookie from Houston. He's 6'5", got a rocket for an arm, but he's not real mobile. He makes a lot of bad decisions. I like Cleveland to win this game. That sure is a lot of points, but I'm going to go ahead and ride with Cleveland. P.J. Walker has really impressed me in the last couple of weeks. Deshaun Watson not going to play. They're not able to find a massage therapist in Cleveland that'll touch him, so he can't get that shoulder worked on.
Got to get it worked on.
Yeah, so I'm gonna take Cleveland and lay the 8.
Oh gosh, you know what? And we're gonna agree again right there. I'll lay that 8 points lovingly right there. Myles Garrett and a rookie quarterback, those guys are frothing at the mouth like a dog pound that just threw a piece of meat over the junkyard. And it's like those guys are gonna go running after this boy, and he's gonna have a bad game. And if they get 3 points in that game, I would be surprised. So yeah, give me Cleveland to demolish. Give me Cleveland. Give me Cleveland to demolish them Cardinals. All right, the Minnesota Vikings and getting 4 points against the Atlanta Falcons. Mike.
Oh, I got Atlanta all day. This spread could be 7. This spread could be 7, and I'd take Atlanta over the Vikings. Jaron Hall, rookie quarterback going in. Atlanta, also an NFC South team. Tight race. They've now benched Desmond Ridder. I think that was a great move. Taylor Heineke's a better quarterback than Desmond Ridder right now in his career. And they are going to jump all over Minnesota in this rookie quarter. They just don't have enough defense to overcome a rookie starting quarterback in his first game.
Right. Gosh, man. Are we we're aligned again.
But that's an easy one, Russ.
Yeah, that was good. That was going to be my lock pick for the week.
Mine too. But I've got a couple. I got a couple. I know you, and I know that was one you were looking at for a lock. So I've got a couple other here with asterisks in case you took that as your lock pick. You want to go ahead and declare that your lock pick right now?
I'll declare that as my lock pick. The Minnesota Vikings are on a downward spiral right now. You guys are going to find out that Kirk Cousins was actually a really, really good quarterback for you when you get into, because if Josh Dobbs or Jaron Hall come in and they play average, you are going to get demolished. Right. You have had elite quarterback play, and I'm only taking a little more time on this because it is my lock pick. Kwesi, you're a dumpster fire in making decisions, and this is a downward spiral. This thing is going to be happening. It happened a little bit later in the season. I still don't believe in you. Give me those. Give me those 4 points. You could probably give me 10 points, and they would still cover it. So yeah, the Atlanta Falcons are going to prove that they are a playoff contending team in this game.
Right, and if you're a Viking fan, put it in the comments. What do you think about us picking against your purple Skittle eaters? Do you think we're crazy? You think Jaron Hall's going to pull this out? I mean, this is probably going to be the only game Jaron Hall starts because they're going to put Josh Dobbs in, is what everyone expects. Dobbs just needs time to get the playbook and get acclimated. This is just too soon to put him in. Paul says Atlanta by 70. I don't know if Atlanta's high-powered enough to put up that many points, but I definitely like Atlanta, and I think you're safe with a lock pick here because it's only 4 points. Let's face it, if Josh Dobbs was starting for Minnesota, this line would probably be 3 or 2.
Oh, right. So
that brings us to the next game, which is my lock pick for this week. Tampa Bay at Houston. Houston laying 3. Russ, I want you to predict which one of these teams do you think I'm taking for my lock pick. Tampa Bay at Houston -3.
Tampa Bay at Houston -3.
Houston is favored by 3.
Gosh, man, this Tampa Bay team is a lot better than what this is really showing right here. I'm going to take Tampa Bay into 3 points because I think Tampa Bay is going to win the game.
And what do you think my lock pick is? What do you predict my lock pick would be on this?
I would think that your lock pick would be what I'm picking.
That's correct.
Yes, your lock pick. You'll take those 3 points lovingly.
Correct. Because we saw this Tampa Bay defense, Antoine Winfield in the secondary, Levante David, Vita Vea. Houston's going to have a hard time running the ball. CJ Stroud's looking good, but he's a rookie. This defense is a lot tougher than people think. And I'm getting 3 points. Again, an NFC South team in a tight division race. At the beginning of the year, Tampa looked at this game as a win on the road, and I think they are going to win this game outright. So my lock pick is Tampa +3.
Oh my gosh. I'm going through some of these comments just to catch them up. JB, get on right. Hey, listen, I mean, all due respect, I love Jeremy B. I do love Jeremy B, but this isn't Jeremy B's show. Sometimes we let some of the people from the outside come onto the show. We especially do it on Mondays when we do our open mic segment right there, where Main Event Mike hosts a great show right there, and follow us through that QR code right there, the NFC North open mic each and every Monday at 7 p.m. And that's when most of we have our guests come on here. And after
Brent,
our little
Brent doesn't like me. What's wrong with me? I'm a nice guy, Brent. What the heck?
So, but Jeremy B is giving his lock picks, and Arizona was smart not to let Kyler in. He probably doesn't open up the playbook while starting with the new Modern Warfare. Oh, that's good. That's good stuff right there. Paul Jones says Atlanta by 70. Yeah, I mean, there we go. We're on these lock picks right here. Let's see. Failson wins. Heineke is Falcons win. Heineke is starting. 100%.
You
100%.
It's the Falcons.
The Falcons. The Falcons. Sometimes you're a little too slick for me, Jeremy. Like I'm just trying to read through these. That is very, very slick. You like that. That actually deserved a whole bunch of Kirk Cousins on there on the you like that, and I'm just a dumb person that can't read. We are going to see how great Cousins is in this game that he isn't playing. I believe that too. Vikings couldn't have gotten a good backup. Detroit Lions did. Right there. Jeremy needs a link. He will get a link sooner than later, but it probably won't be today because I don't have enough time to bring everybody on today. I don't understand gambling talk. LOL. Okay. Then this probably isn't the show for you today because we're doing. You want to bet? Give me Houston. Stroud as a better quarterback so far. There we go. Sarah says that I'm fine with Hall starting. Why draft him if you're not going to see what he's got? If he does good, then we know what we have for the future. If he does bad, then we draft high. I love that call. You like that?
I do
too. Sarah says that none of us said that Kirk wasn't good. We just wanted to go in a different direction since Kirk can't get it done in the postseason. What's wrong with wanting more for your team? Well, there's nothing wrong with wanting more for your team. But what I'm saying is that Kirk Cousins has been a top 5 to top 10 quarterback his entire career, and you don't want him. And you're hoping to have what? A top 3 quarterback? I mean, that's fine, but the grass isn't always greener. That's what we're saying. We're not saying that he's a Hall of Fame quarterback, which he might be. Okay, I'm bad. I love you, Mike.
Love you too, friend, man. Thank you.
I'm new to this stuff. All right, good. Oh, man. You know, we like to have fun. We like to have fun on here, and we like to poke fun at each other a little bit. So I'm glad that you got a good spirit on that. Hey, we're not the ones that were blown out by 30 points. Or so us getting blown out by 70 is just ridiculous. Okay.
Sarah, get your facts straight. We were blown out by 32.
Oh, gosh. Didn't Heineke beat the Eagles last season in Philly?
With the Washington Commanders, I believe he did.
He did. Tonight, main event Mike will be on my half-season review tonight at 10 p.m. Is that true?
That is true.
That is true. All right. Kirk Prescott is equal to Dak Cousins in the playoffs.
Jeremy's on fire this morning.
Oh, man. Take the Raiders over the G-Men. They will play inspired this week. So let's get back into it. I kind of cleared up the
call, Paul.
Are we there right there? We're at the
No, we are at Washington.
Washington. Okay. Go ahead. Call it out. What do we got?
Washington at New England in Foxborough. The Patriots are a 3-point favorite against the Commanders after they got rid of half of their defensive line. It's going to be a tough one for Washington. But, you know, the Patriots have burned me this year on games that I feel like they should win. They're not even competitive in. And then I bet against them, and out of the blue, they beat a team they're not supposed to beat. So this one's tough. I'm going to go ahead and take New England because they're at home, and Washington's a dumpster fire of a franchise. So with new ownership, this is day one. Sunday will mark day one. The ownership putting their foot down, saying we're doing things differently. Rand Carthon, the new GM, putting his foot down, saying, yeah, Chase Young, you're out. Montez Sweat, you're out. We're going to run with what we have. And I just don't think they can overcome New England, who hasn't given up on their season yet. I'm going to take New England -3.
All right, we'll and I'm not going to give any. I just got this feeling on these Commanders that these guys that they did get rid of, on the next man up mentality here. I think that New England is spiraling out, and you're finding out that Tom Brady was the real cheese, and in that relationship that they had being so dominant from before. So go ahead. Give me the Commanders. I'll take the 3 points, even if the Patriots win. I think they'll bust in a last-minute field goal and win by a couple. So
I like it.
So the Rams are getting 3 points against the Packers right here. Oh gosh, this is fun. This is fun, Mike. This is fun because I might have taken the lock pick on this one. Matt Stafford to put it to the old rival in the NFC North. I love that pickup right there. Give me the Rams. Give me the 3 points. I have no idea why they're getting 3.
Right. Well, you've got the Rams going into the home of the softest fan base in the world, the Lambeau softest Ford Field North, as it's referred to in some circles. I'm going to go ahead and take the Packers because I just think that the Rams, Matt Stafford's having a thumb issue. I don't even know who the backup quarterback is there now. The Packers got to get right. By letting Rasul Douglas, it makes me feel letting Rasul Douglas go at the trade deadline makes me think that the Packers may be giving up on this season and tanking. But I just can't see the Rams after getting blown out by the Cowboys last week. This is a game the Packers can win. The only thing I don't like is the 3 points. I think the Packers win a 1-point game, but I'm still, for this purpose, I'm going to go ahead and take the Pack -3.
Oh, right there. Oh, there we go. Jeremy coming in. How long can you be on here? Like, could you be on in your car today?
Yeah.
Past noon? Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I think that I'm going to send Jeremy a private thing, and when I get my son off the bus, maybe you guys can carry it on, because I don't think we're going to get through all of these in 10 more minutes. So I'm going to send this to Jeremy so he can pop on with us, and I may leave here in a little bit, and you guys can just carry it on, man. I trust you. I trust you to do the right thing while we're out there, while we're getting through all of these lock picks right here.
Right, well, we got 5 games to go, so let's kind of get through them quickly then. The next game is Indianapolis at Carolina. Carolina getting 2.5 at home. I'm going to go ahead and take Indianapolis Colts. Even though they burned me last week, I'm going to take them on the road, getting 2.5 or laying 2.5 points to the lowly Carolina Panthers.
Yeah, and they are the lowly Carolina Panthers. I'm going to agree with you on that. Give me the 2.5 points on the road. The Colts look like they're trying to be a good team. They're trying to climb out of being a bad team into being, a mid-tier team, and I think that's what they are. Carolina's just bad.
In a row. I'm going to take, and then the next game is a big one. Dallas, divisional game at Philadelphia. The Eagles are favored by 3 points. I'm going to take the Eagles because it's a division game, and the Eagles are at home. So give me Philly -3.
And I'm going to bring in Jeremy B right here. What's going on, brother man? How you doing?
I saw a report last night which might break the hearts of Eagles fans and anybody that hates the Cowboys. Hurts could be out up to 3 weeks with a knee bone bruise.
Oh,
who?
No.
Jalen Hurts. It was reported on SportsIllustrated.com last night about 8 p.m.
That shocked Mike so much it shut his camera off for like 3 seconds.
No, I was having a glitch here. Who is out?
Jalen Hurts.
Jalen Hurts.
He will not play?
He may not play for up to 3 to 4 weeks while they're going into the hardest stretch of their schedule.
Wow.
Uh-oh.
Wow. And they haven't played well. They haven't.
And their defense has fallen from 4th to 10th. Their offense has fallen from 3rd to 7th.
All right,
last 3 weeks.
Let's get through these lock picks right here, because you guys could definitely continue this conversation when I go get my son off the bus.
Absolutely.
Let's get through these lock picks.
Dallas, Philly, who you got, Russ?
Dallas, Philly. Well, obviously Dallas now. I'll take the 3 all day without Jalen Hurts. Give it to me. Give it to me. I think that's even unfair.
Next game, New York Giants at Las Vegas. Las Vegas is -1.5. How can Vegas be favored against anyone is what I'd like to know. I'll
Because the
take the
Giants are just as
all
bad.
day.
Because the Giants, I mean, here, let me, wait. Heads, wait. Heads, Las Vegas, tails, Giants. It's heads. I'm going to go with Las Vegas on this one because I don't know. These two teams suck equally, and I don't know which team sucks the worst. So,
all right, only 2 games left. Buffalo Bills at Cincinnati. Cincinnati is a 2-point favorite.
Gosh, this is a good one, too. You can answer first if you can think about that.
Josh Allen is struggling.
This is the DeMar Hamlin game.
Yep.
And Cincinnati just keeps beating them. I'm going to take Buffalo to get right. And it's hard to beat a team 3 times in a row. I'm going to take Buffalo on the road, getting 2 points.
If it was in the same season, I'd agree with you, but I think the Bengals are the better team playing right now. Bills have been struggling to score as much as they usually do, and Josh Allen is starting to look a little Dak Prescottish with a lot of interceptions.
Russ, what do you got? Buffalo and Cincinnati. We only got one more game.
All right, give me Joe Burrow, baby. Give me the Cincinnati Bengals.
All right, last game on the slate, Monday Night Football, Los Angeles Chargers at New York Jets. The Jets are at home getting 3.5. Ah, man, that's a tough one. Because it's that half point, I'm going to go ahead and take the home dog.
Always take the home underdog. They win 61% of the games.
Man, I want to take the Chargers -3. I just
the half, 3.5.
3.5. I have to. Okay, it may be the last time that I throw it on there, but there's still this part in me that believes in Justin Herbert and believes that they can get it right. If they fail me again, I may not put another bet on them for the rest of the season.
There you go.
The Jets defense has given up 2 passing touchdowns all year. Both of them were to the Bills.
There you go. All right, so that's it. There's our predictions for the week's games. Russ, are you still with us for a few more minutes, aren't you?
Yeah, I got 5 minutes, and I'll just be every once in a while. I'll see my camera go off.
Before Mike got in here, I broke a little bit of Lions news from yesterday for us, and it was something that I called out on the draft UDFA signing review show with you guys right here. A guy I said that would be called up by the bye week, Trevor Nowaski, a Saginaw Valley State University linebacker, called up to the active roster, and Divine Azigbo has been cut.
Now, let me ask you this. Does that mean that David Montgomery is getting to the point where he would probably be at this game after the bye week?
As they predicted, yeah, he should be back. Yep. So that being said, that also means Malcolm Rodriguez won't be on special teams anymore because Trevor Nowaski showed out in preseason there, and he also did better in coverage on tight ends, something we have been struggling with as of late. Because Rodrigo now is going to be the full-time fullback, and once Cabinda gets off the IR, he might be cut.
Oh no! That's our boy.
I understand that's your boy, but I'm just saying the writing's on the wall now.
There's no way in hell Rodrigo will get cut.
No, not Rodrigo.
No, Cabinda.
Oh, Cabinda.
Because he cannot stay on the field.
Interesting.
And when we needed him to get a yard, he couldn't even do what Craig Reynolds was able to do.
Right.
Get a yard.
Well,
you are watching Biting Kneecaps with Smoking Jeremy B. Oh, wait, no, this is Football Talk with Russell Wick.
Yes.
My bad.
Yes, it is.
Now I'm going to give you these prop picks that I've handpicked. I've gone through. I put in some work to pick out a couple of good prop bets. If you are in the betting sphere, here's what I like. Dak Prescott to throw at least 1 interception against Philadelphia. Right now, he's ranked 18th in passing. He's throwing 5 interceptions, but that's not the real story. The real story here is that the Philadelphia Eagles defense, they have a negative turnover differential of -3. It's time for them to right the ship and get right on that, especially if Jalen Hurts doesn't play. That defense is going to need to step up. Dak's already thrown 5 interceptions. We know he's an interception machine. While Philadelphia has only picked off 4 passes this year, I think they need to get something from their defense to get them through this lull. I like Dak Prescott to throw at least 1 interception. What do you think of that prop bet there, Jeremy?
I like that prop bet. Because I do believe he will do it. The problem I also see is Jalen Carter is out this game too. He's been out the last game and he's out this game because he has a minor injury. He wasn't put on the IR, but he hasn't been back to practice yet.
Yeah, and let's just be glad that Philadelphia did not pull off that Aaron Donald trade like it was rumored.
Right? I gave it no credence. Remember, I said that's from a rumor site, and I see nothing from any credible source.
Jeremy, I like to tease you a little bit, but I do respect your knowledge a whole lot. And I want to ask you if you can fill me in on something that I'm a little fuzzy on.
Okay.
So the trade deadline has come and gone.
Mm-hmm.
Does that mean that players still can't be traded?
If they're traded, it's more like a futures contract thing. We get rid of stuff for futures things. It's weird. It can happen, but it comes with a penalty to both teams.
After the trade deadline.
Right. But what they usually do, and you don't see it, and then all of a sudden you realize like later round picks were traded next season. Somebody goes to the waiver wire where somebody knows exactly they can get them. You know what I'm saying? It's kind of like a waiver move in the background.
Yeah, but you have a pecking order for that.
Right.
So there's no guarantee that they can
Right. There's no guarantee, but like I'm quite sure all these owners and GMs talk to each other and they say, hey, I'm letting so-and-so have this guy because I'm getting this compensatory pick for next year or the year after. It's a quiet behind the scenes trade.
So the deadline is this is the cutoff where you can make a trade without penalty.
Yes.
Okay, that's good enough for me. Let's move on. Next prop bet that I like is Bijan Robinson against the Minnesota Vikings to get over 57.5 yards rushing against the Minnesota Vikings defense. Bijan over 57.5. What do you think, Jeremy?
If he had been playing to his potential the last 4 games, I would agree with that wholeheartedly. And if it was yards from scrimmage, absolutely, because he's a little underrated receiving the screen passes on the outside. For some reason, Tyson Algier has been the main guy. I think he may struggle. There we go. I got
to turn off his Bluetooth.
There we go.
Remix. All right. So Bijan Robinson, these are not scrimmage yards, Jeremy. This is just rushing. Over 57.5 or under.
I think he's going to get under myself, but I can see why you'd take the over.
Yeah, so there you go. There's our couple of prop bets. Dak to throw 1 interception. Bijan over 57.5. That one JB does not agree with, but the Dak one he does. So take it for what you want. But I'll tell you what, folks, the main event has been pretty accurate this year on our predictions, even using point spreads. We're doing much better than the average, what the best prognosticators, handicappers in the world are hitting. It could be a fluke, but we'll have to wait and see. So good luck betting if you are betting this week. Real quick, I wanted to ask your opinion on this Rams going into Lambeau, JB. What do you see in this game?
If Stafford does play as expected, it hasn't been announced he is. He's just expected to play because he's been in limited practice and throwing with that injured thumb. I think it's going to be the Puka Nacua and Cooper Kupp show.
Wow. And with the Packers getting rid of Rasul Douglas, one of those guys might be feasting.
It's whoever plays in the slot each snap because they move him back and forth.
Yeah, and Jair Alexander got toasted last week by Jordan Addison. So, I mean, this was already a position of need for Green Bay. And to let a stud like Rasul Douglas go, is it a little head-scratching for you?
It is. I shared something with you last night because I pay attention to people going into college as well as coming out of college. Do you remember what I posted to you about Chad Pennington's son?
Yeah.
How about that kid? through 12 games this season, 130 of 167 passes, over 1,800 yards, 37 touchdowns, and 0 interceptions in Western Kentucky.
Yeah.
In high school.
Yeah. And he won't have to go to Marshall.
Right. He won't have to go to Marshall. He'll go to more of a Power 5 conference school.
Right. So other one that's here in the division is the Chicago Bears traveling down to New Orleans. Tyson Bagent, you think he looks better than Justin Fields, and do you give them a chance to win this game in New Orleans?
I give him a chance. Tyson Bagent has looked better than Justin Fields. He looks more poised in the pocket. He makes more than 2 reads. When the pocket does break down, he does know how to get out of it and be athletic. He's a little bit of everything rolled into one, but he's not great at anything.
Tell our viewers, Jeremy, about your show tonight.
Well, tonight I'm doing my half-season review. We're basically going to go over our top 5 offensive players of the season so far, and I think it's pretty clear on who that is. With top 5 defensive players, and I think that's pretty clear on who that is. The bottom 5 on both sides of the ball, it's a little subjective because I think you can throw coaching in there on bottom five for both sides of the ball. Yet, at the same time, I just want to talk about how we're 6-2 and ahead of the schedule because I don't know of anybody but maybe 6 fans overall and 3 podcasters that had us at anything close to that at this point. So
yeah,
if we're ahead of the sticks going into the easiest part of the schedule where I don't see any more than 3 losses at most through the next 9 games, why is everybody tripping?
Right.
We're second
currently,
as offense and 8th as
currently
defense.
The Lions only have 1 game on the schedule where the team is above 500 for the
And that's
rest
Dallas.
of the season. So it's
Right.
looking good for us. And you take a look. I mean, there were commenters earlier talking about Philly and San Fran. Hell, man, look at their schedules. They're absolutely brutal.
Absolutely. Ooh, it's Russ. There's
Sorry
that
about
handsome
the
bald guy.
trippiness, guys.
Yeah, that was funny.
Well, I was switching from the upstairs unit so I could be out here and be on my phone with y'all. But
I appreciate it.
yeah, that was trippy.
So here at the midway point of the season, Jeremy B., who is the front runner for MVP for you?
On offense, it has to be Jared Goff.
Wow.
Look where he's at. Top 5 in every offensive stat again for the 2nd season in a row through the halfway of the season.
Right.
And if AG keeps running the defense like he did versus the Raiders and doesn't go back to that base defense where we never get out of it like he did versus the Ravens and the Seahawks, guess what? There isn't a team that I don't think we can beat.
Right. I love that pick. And, to be clear, MVP is not divided by offensive and defensive. It's only one MVP of the league. And for me this year, I'm going to have to go with Tyreek Hill. He's on pace to smash.
You meant in the whole NFL?
Yes.
Oh, I thought you meant team MVP. I'm sorry.
So I'm going to go ahead and finish my take, though. I'm going to take
Yep.
Tyreek Hill because he's on pace to smash the records. He'll go for 2,100 yards if he stays on this trajectory. And if he receives 2,000 yards receiving, I think he's going to be the MVP.
I agree. The last time somebody other than a QB won it was Cooper Kupp with 2,000 yards.
There you go.
I like the call of Jared Goff because not just because I'm a Jared Goff slappy, but because the end of the season has a whole bunch of games that he's going to be able to light it up against. He's going to be able to throw up some insane numbers through the last 9 games, and it'll look great. Does it mean the Lions could get the 1 seed and not be the best team in the NFC? It has happened before, and looks like the schedule is going to dictate that we could do that. Why not? Why couldn't the Lions get the 1 seed? They could.
You are right. You are right, Russ. You are a Jared Goff slappy. Anyway, moving on.
Oh, right now, like I said, as soon as you said NFL, I did say, oh yeah, it should be Hill.
Yeah. Well, let's talk about Super Bowl teams. Who's going to play in the Super Bowl, JB?
Wow, it's hard not to be a homer here. It's
That's all
hard.
right. I'll give you mine first. At the beginning of the season, I picked the Lions and the Bengals in the Super Bowl. Now we're halfway through the season, and from the beginning of the season, the Bengals looked terrible. Joe Burrow couldn't even move at all, and I'm like, oh, that prediction is down the tubes. But it looks like Cincinnati's getting it right. They may not even win their own division, but they are going to be a tough out, and therefore, even though my heart tells me it's not going to be, I'm going to stick with my prediction. I think it's a cat fight in Vegas. Bengals, Lions in the Super Bowl. What do you got?
I'm going to go a different route. It's going to be two teams that's never won a Super Bowl. Jaguars versus Lions.
Wow. Jaguars, one of the best teams in the league. They're a young team. They're starting to gel. They're starting to put it together. I think maybe Trevor Lawrence needs one more year before they make that step. But I do love that pick. So there you go. You heard it here. JB picks Jacksonville and the Lions in the Super Bowl. Now, Russell Wayne, at the beginning of the year, you picked the New York Jets in the Super Bowl because Aaron Rodgers going over there with that incredible defense.
Right.
Now they're talking about Aaron Rodgers maybe making it back. If that defense can get them to the playoffs, are you sticking to that call?
Absolutely, man. To me, I mean, if I was going to switch it, I'd probably switch it to the Kansas City Chiefs just because it just seems like Patrick Mahomes gets it together even every year when they count them out. But no, I'll stick with the New York Jets to make it with that defense, getting Aaron Rodgers back at the end of the year. If the MILF Hunter can go out there and win a game here and there and give him a shot, I'm not going to change it. I would feel dumb if they actually won it after I changed it. So anyway,
you called him the MILF Hunter.
You're talking about that. You know what I'm talking about.
I do.
Zach
I
Wilson.
do. I love it. I love
Zach
it. But
Wilson,
you know what?
the MILF
The Jets
Hunter.
got to make the playoffs for us for that prediction. So that's pretty sketchy for me. But hey, I respect you.
Well, I mean,
Hey,
I got to stick with it.
I do got one thing to add though. What's up with Brock Purdy the last 3 weeks? All he lost was Deebo Samuel and Trent Williams, and now he looks like Carson Wentz with PTSD.
I'm sorry, Jeremy, but he's a 7th-round pick from a Division II school.
I know,
That's what it is.
I know. I've just got to give a little shot in there because everybody said he was the next Tom Brady.
No. I think they lose one more game. You may see Sam Darnold.
Yeah. Well,
I agree.
It's another example of overreaction fan bases. The guy has a game or a good game or a bad game. You know, the Lions have a bad game and the entire fan base jumps off the ledge. Brock Purdy has 3 bad games and everybody's wondering why he's not playing at MVP level anymore. And you hit the nail right on the head, Mike. He's a 7th-round draft pick that was protected by a good defense. And he got exposed. He's not that good.
Right. He's not that good. He's a good game manager. He's definitely made a name for himself now, and he'll be in this league for a long time, whether that's as a starter or a backup. And I don't think that San Fran's going to give up on him. But if he loses another game, they may put in Sam Darnold to try to inject some energy into this team and maybe a wake-up call. All right, Offensive Rookie of the Year. At the beginning of the year, Russell Wayne predicted that Jahmyr Gibbs would be Offensive Rookie of the Year. Jeremy, who you like at the halfway point?
Sam Laporta.
Sam Laporta, Offensive Rookie of the Year.
Yes.
And who do you like for Defensive Rookie of the Year?
Well, I'm not going to be a homer here because he fell off with missing time. I'm kind of torn on this. And it's not a Lion. That's for sure.
Well, while you think about that, I'll give
Will
you
Anderson.
my Offensive Rookie of the Year. My Offensive Rookie of the Year, I'm picking at the halfway point right now. I forget who I picked at the beginning of the year, but it wasn't C.J. Stroud. And that's who I'm going to pick now at the halfway point. This kid has showed out. I think he's proven he was the best quarterback in the draft, which some people knew all along, outside of Hendon Hooker, which we haven't seen yet. But I'm going to go with C.J. Stroud, Offensive Rookie of the Year. And for my Defensive Rookie of the Year, I'm going to go with Will Anderson. These Texans have really shown something under DeMeco Ryans. The kid is showing out down there. I like him to have a strong second half of the season and win this award. So I think both awards go to the Houston Texans for their stellar coup that they pulled on draft day to get the best offensive player and best defensive player they could. And I think you're going to be rewarded with some hardware.
All right. Well, for offensive rookie of the year, it's hard for me not to agree with you with the CJ Stroud thing just because of the quarterback position. But I wouldn't put it past my original pick right here, because if Jahmyr Gibbs ends up, if that was a breakout game and that's what we can expect from him from here on out, he's going to rush for 1,000 yards and maybe even have 1,000 yards receiving too, if he keeps up that pace of where he's going. And the teams are getting easier. So I don't know. I still like my pick of Jahmyr Gibbs, but it's hard to bet against the quarterback. So I wouldn't be surprised if you're right on that one. Defensive rookie of the year. I mean, I'm going to be a homer on this one. I don't care. Let's go with Brian Branch at this point. It was Jack Campbell, but I'm going to go with Brian Branch to finish out the year and do it as a progression player. So he is going to get better as it goes along. And I just predict that this defense is going to ascend without changing any players. You're going to continue to see the dominance of Aleem McNeil and Brian Branch, and you're going to continue to see these players ascending this year, and they're going to get better without any additions. But Brian Branch, defensive rookie of the year.
And I would throw Derek Barnes in that bucket as well. Jeremy, who you got for defensive rookie of the year?
Devin Witherspoon of the Seahawks. He's leading the league in interceptions this year with the pick 6.
Ooh, I love that pick. He did get burned on a flea flicker against the Lions badly.
Yeah, that's fine. That was when who scored? What offensive rookie of the year projection?
Laporta scored.
Oh, okay. And if anybody says Sam Laporta ain't no rookie of the year, they haven't paid attention to what he's doing. He's the first tight end to do this good through this point of the season in NFL, not just Lions history.
Right. And he might be the first tight end in history to win rookie of the year as well.
Right. I mean, it's just because he's doing things that's never been done by a rookie tight end. He's ahead of Aaron Hernandez and Gronk combined their rookie year.
I know he's ahead of TJ Hawkinson, and that's all that matters, really.
Oh, TJ Hawkinson? Hawkindrop?
Yeah.
No block. Fall down at contact.
So there you go. There's some predictions from our knucklehead panel. Put it in the comments if you're watching. Who do you like? Maybe there's a name that we overlooked. Maybe there's something we are egregiously missing. If that's the case, put it in the comments. Let us know. Who do you like? Who's your Super Bowl picks? Who's your MVP pick? Defensive, offensive rookies of the year. Let us know. This is a fan-driven, interactive show. We want you to be interactive. Put it in the comments. And don't forget, follow us on the Villain Squad on Facebook. It's Detroit Lions Villain Squad. Also, subscribe to our YouTube channel. We have this douchebag guy that tried to get our page shut down in May, and he's beating us in YouTube. We need people to go and subscribe to our YouTube channel. It is at Main Event 365. That's MANE at Main Event 365 on YouTube. Please subscribe to our YouTube channel so we can keep up with the douchey Joneses.
Sarah Zhang, have you seen what Puka hasn't done since Cooper Kupp's been back? He has not had over 100 yards in any game since. He's mostly disappeared. He's been a nice piece, but he's not on track to lead in receiving yards anymore. Laporta has passed him.
Do you have ability to put comments up on the screen, Jeremy?
Sure.
Why don't you do that, and we'll address some of these comments.
Oh, wait, no, you mean for your show? No, I don't think I do.
Well,
that's what we need Russell for. Yeah, I'm not on your admin side of it, so I wish I could. Sarah said, have you seen what Puka is doing? Y'all being way too homer. And Will Vogue says, let's go Laporta, MVP Hill. And Fred Peterson says, I was just texting that, Jeremy, about the Cooper Kupp relation to Puka Nakua's yardage.
Yeah, Puka Nacua, a stellar rookie year. What a nice draft pick for the Rams. A great compliment over there. I love this kid. He's not going to have enough targets to be able to make Offensive Rookie of the Year, I think, though. But he gets an honorable mention for sure.
Well, we're not in control of the show, so we can't add anything now. So absolutely not. Sorry.
Right. Right. Panthers get their first win of the season. Now Will wants to get on the show.
Hey, yeah, I know, but he has been aligned as a secondary team with a 6-win team, one that's 6-2, one we talk about a lot.
Yeah, we love Will. We love Will. And Will, I was the only one on our panel, Will, that picked Carolina to win that game and get their first win. I got that one right.
Yep,
So,
I wanted the Texans to win it, and if you actually look at the quarterback play, it was pretty even overall with a slight edge to Young because he threw for a touchdown, but Stroud made up for it by running for a touchdown.
I think Bryce Young throws a beautiful spiral. He throws a beautiful pass. I just don't know if he's going to be durable enough to hang in this league. I'm 100% sure that Bryce Young will not be the offensive rookie of the year, even though he was the number one pick. And let's face it, when you take a quarterback at number one, you're expecting that kind of performance, right? Even if your team doesn't win, you're expecting this guy to ball out the way C.J. Stroud has. And we just haven't seen that from Bryce Young. What are your thoughts there?
I said coming out of college, the 2 QBs that have a chance to play this year that would be the most pro ready, and everybody laughed at me. I said it was C.J. Stroud and Will Levis. And so far, Will Levis has played 2 games and looked like a legit starting quarterback.
Aiden O'Connell going to start now moving forward. The new interim coach for the Raiders, Antonio Pierce, has declared that Aiden O'Connell will be the starter going forward. I got a soft spot for this kid because I know the Lions were courting him. I firmly believe 100%. They brought him in for a in-house visit. They met with him at the combine. They tossed his name around a lot. They were targeting him in the 4th round, which is right where the Raiders got him. And I firmly believe that if a first-round talent like Hendon Hooker hadn't been there in round 3, the Lions would have drafted Aiden O'Connell in the 4th round. And now we see him to get a chance. What do you think about Jimmy G being benched?
I think it needed to happen 2 weeks ago. When he was hurt, he should have never
catching up with Jimmy G.
I think it's the fact he left a very QB friendly scheme, and he's struggling when he has to be the guy. Derek Carr was much better for the Raiders than anybody gave him credit for. And I'm going to say this because Sarah's bringing up all this, that, and the other. You know what? Addison has been great for you guys, and the fact you don't want to tout him as a possible rookie of the year. You know why he wouldn't win Rookie of the Year? The same reason why Puka Nacua won't win Rookie of the Year. They have dog water records.
I gotta give that some kudos though. Jordan Addison as a potential Rookie of the Year candidate. I gotta give that some credo for absolutely. He would be in the running. I think he would definitely be in a top 5 conversation for Rookie of the Year offensively. Good call out. Was that Sarah?
That's Sarah. She was just saying, I said Addison and Laporta have similar numbers, and he's not even a Rookie of the Year contender. I said, I think he is.
Oh, yeah, for sure he is. And that is a name that we overlook.
So I because of the QB love in this league, you got to put Stroud at the top. I think Laporta and Addison are probably 3 and 4. Nakua's got to get an honorable mention, but his numbers have fallen off consistently since Koopas came back. Yes, he had one breakout game since, but his numbers have been down other than that.
Right. Hey, Russ, are you there? I got to jump off, so I'm going to plug the show.
Yeah, go ahead.
It's the NFC North Open Mic every Monday night at 7 p.m. Eastern Time. We have all 4 fan bases in there talking about football, a little bit of smack talk now and then as well. It's the NFC North Open Mic, 7 p.m. Eastern Time. Thanks for having me on today and listening to me blabber. God bless you all.
Thanks,
yes, Mike. Yes. I appreciate it, Mike. And I always love having you on this show because you keep me in line. You keep me in line. And so does Jeremy B. Go ahead and plug your show, Jeremy B. I'm going to get out of here too because my son did just get home.
Fantastic. I saw him there. Hi, buddy. But anyways, check out Kneecap Biting with the Motor City Lions. I do an NFL show on Wednesdays. I do a pregame show, a postgame show. And tonight is the Lions Fan Cave Chat with my half-season review. Going to try to get a few big hitters in there. Mark Oram of Orum's Forum's going to be there. Main Event Mike. Trying to get Easy and Micro Mike in there too. It should be a great show.
That's awesome. So you have been watching. This is NFC North Talk, or actually it's just more football talk with Russell Wayne. And this is the Friday edition, and we're going to do the picks every single Friday here. And we're going to throw some prop bets in there too, because this stuff is fun. I don't gamble personally, but if it's your thing, we're pretty good at this, at least picking these things. So we might be able to give you some tips on how to do some of that gambling right there, if that's your thing. So I'm gonna leave you how I love to leave you right here, and that is with a blessing right over your life. May the Lord bless you, may the Lord keep you, may the Lord shine his face upon you until we meet again, and that'll be on Monday morning. We're going to talk about these games. Peace and love to you. Yeah, I want to thank everybody for watching the program today.
May I give a little closing statement before I hop out, Russ?
Yeah, go ahead.
I tell my fans this every show at the end, and I want to say this before I leave. Try every day to make yourself a better person than you were the day before, because that's the only way we'll make the world a better place. It starts within your heart. Peace, love, and chicken grease. Shout out to everybody in the chat. Shout out to everybody who watched the show. Switch over to YouTube. Click that like button. Share it wherever you know any NFC North fans are. Because you know what? We're not always just homers. We give real takes. I understand that everybody hates when anybody says anybody is a lion that's going to do this. Guess what? Wow, it happens. That's what we are. We are homers. And we're doing good. We should be puffing our chests.
Yep, and if you are a Packer fan, this is for you. Let the butt hurt flow through you. What a weak ass fan base you guys out there. We love pumping our chest, and you guys certainly did last year while we were here all through the summer. I mean, this place was loaded. This place was loaded every single morning with a bunch of Packer fans beating their chests, telling us how great Jordan Love was going to be and how great their franchise has been over the years. And that's great. If you want to watch the History Channel and you want to see some good Packer teams, you guys have had a great history, but your run is over. And let that butt hurt flow through you, because Love ain't the one. He ain't the one. You don't have 3 Hall of Fame quarterbacks in a row. Now you need to look for a quarterback. Sean Clifford is a better quarterback than Jordan Love, and you have to let that butt hurt flow through you. That's what you're doing. So,
hey, do you want me to send you my little Yoda one that I post in the NFC North chat all the time?
I don't know.
You'll like it, and you can edit it like this one, because it says, "Much butt hurt. I sent in you. Cry like bitch you should." And I love Yoda speak.
And this will answer any of their questions that are out there, folks.
Amen.
Why?
Because Dan Campbell said so. Up for GM of the year right here.
For sure. For absolute sure.
It's either going to be him, or if somehow the Philly can remain winning through this brutal part of their schedule over the next 9 games, it might be Howie Roseman again.
So I'm going to end this thing right here, but I want you to know that this video that I'm going to play, I remade this video, and I'm actually working on your stuff right now too.
Fantastic.
But this is a fitting Green Bay Tears is the best way to end any program. And I am re-releasing this video because it was on the old channel
Yeah.
It was on the old channel that got deleted, so I am re-releasing this Green Bay Tears reel tonight at 7:00. So God bless you guys. I'll see you guys on Monday.
It's not fair. They were so happy. It's not gonna be okay.
What's going on, Russell Wayne and the Main Event 365 Network? This is Jason Kabinda from the Detroit Lions. Here to give y'all a shout out, man. We appreciate all the support, man. Know you guys are big fans. Know that you guys are rooting for us to take the North this year, and we're going to do just that, man. Appreciate you guys so much. Just want to give y'all a shout out. Y'all have a great day.